They say your enemies are those who raise their swords against you. But the most dangerous enemies never draw steel. They smile. They flatter. And while they whisper comfort into your ear, they plant poison in your mind. This is how the weak rule the strong, not through open attack, but through the slow corrosion of your clarity. Today, you will learn how to reverse that poison, to transform every act of manipulation into fuel for your control. Because in the Machiavellian world, the war is not fought with weapons. It is fought with composure. The moment you react, you surrender power. The moment you explain, you expose your mind. He who controls emotion, controls perception, and perception, in this world, is reality. Machiavelli once wrote that the wise prince appears calm even when the city burns. He did not mean indifference, he meant strategy. Because when you appear untouched by chaos, chaos begins to fear you. When you face a toxic person, do not fight for peace. Command it through distance, not physical distance, but psychological silence. That is the true fortress of the strong. See, the manipulator survives on your reactions. They study your anger, your need to explain, your hunger for fairness. They use your emotion as a door, and once it opens, they enter your mind. But when you stop reacting, when your face becomes unreadable, your silence becomes a wall they cannot climb. They panic because they cannot find you anymore. You vanished from their battlefield. In that silence, something powerful begins to grow. You start seeing patterns, how they guilt trip when ignored, how they flatter before striking, how they twist words to confuse you. You begin to understand, this is not about you. It never was. It's about their addiction to control. Their chaos is their weakness, your calm is your weapon. Stillness, in this philosophy, is not passivity. It is preparation before the strike. The general who moves last is often the one who wins. When the manipulator shouts, stay silent. When they insult, smile faintly. When they provoke, look through them as if they are air. Because when you stop feeding their hunger for reaction, they starve on their own poison. You are no longer the prey, you have become the mirror. And mirrors frighten those who live by illusion. Now, let us speak of leverage, the unseen force of the strategist. A manipulator's armor is built from vanity and fear. They must appear admired. They must appear in control. Use this against them. Compliment them not to please, but to probe. Say, you handled that situation well. Watch how they bask, how they reveal alliances, how they expose who they fear and who they follow. Flattery, when used by the wise, is not submission, it's surveillance. Machiavelli taught that knowledge of the human heart is currency. You do not exploit cruelty for pleasure, you study behavior to understand control. If their weakness is insecurity, then your calmness is the blade that cuts it open. If their power is gossip, then your discipline is the silence that kills rumors. If their strength is chaos, your order becomes their end. Strategy is not about attack. It is about arrangement. You position truth like a weapon, and when the moment comes, you let reality do the killing. Never seek revenge. Revenge reveals emotion, and emotion is visibility. Visibility is a weakness. Instead, rearrange the board. Shift the terrain so that every move they make exposes them further. Make their arrogance public. Turn their words into records. And then do nothing. Let time do the rest. Because when you stand silent while they unravel, the crowd will decide who the fool is. And the crowd always sides with composure. Control the environment. Choose the arena of conflict. A toxic person thrives in private corners, messages, whispers, gossip, nighttime calls. Move the game to daylight. Request meetings with witnesses. Put everything in writing. Structure kills manipulation because it removes fog. When you control the setting, you control the outcome. And every manipulator hates clarity. For clarity exposes the tricks they hide behind emotion. Now, there is one rule of dominance most people never learn: optics are stronger than arguments. The calm one appears powerful. The loud one appears desperate. So let your words be few, your tone slow, your gaze steady. Never rush. Never plead. Never explain more than once. The more composed you are, the more others project strength upon you. And in perception lies control. Let them rant. Let them accuse. Let them cry victim. You are the storm they cannot see. But mastery does not end with defense. It ends with departure. When the time comes, walk away. Not in anger, not in bitterness, but with the stillness of a ruler who has already won. To walk away is to end the story they wrote for you. To walk away like a king is to write your own ending. The manipulator survives through your attention. Withdraw it, and they collapse beneath the weight of their own emptiness. Do not announce your exit. Do not post your pain. Do not seek closure. Closure is not given by those who hurt you. It is claimed by those who outgrow them. Leave quietly. Your silence will echo louder than their explanations ever could. Because the king does not explain his departure. He simply stands, turns, and leaves, and in that act, he reminds everyone who truly holds the crown. After you leave, do not forget what the battle revealed. Every wound was instruction. Every betrayal showed where your boundaries were weak. You were not destroyed. You were informed. Use that knowledge to build walls not of pride, but of principle. Decide who enters your kingdom and under what terms. That is not coldness, it is governance. Machiavelli said that a wise ruler observes friend and foe with the same eye. So study both. Do not hate the manipulator, analyze them. They are your best teachers in the art of control. They reveal the tools of the weak: guilt, flattery, projection, confusion. Knowing these tools is what keeps you untouchable. You cannot be manipulated when you understand manipulation. This is the final evolution of the strategist. You do not fight chaos. You define its borders. You do not destroy toxic people. You transcend them. You no longer fight for peace, you create it through command. You no longer chase respect, you become it through stillness. Power, real power, does not roar. It does not seek attention. It does not explain itself. It simply is. So the next time someone tries to provoke you, do not meet them in the arena of emotion. Meet them in the silence of the mind. Observe. Think. Wait. Let them reveal themselves. Then, when the board is clear, make your single, deliberate move, and retreat into calm again. That is how rulers win wars without fighting. That is how you turn poison into power. That is the Machiavellian art of invisible victory. He who conquers himself, conquers all.